So now we're in Jeremiah chapter 12. We're reading from verses 7 to 13, and I've titled this section, The Sword of the Lord. The Sword of the Lord. And so, Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 7. I have forsaken my house, I have abandoned my heritage, I have given the beloved of my soul into the hands of her enemies. Notice the tenderness. I have forsaken, not their house, this is my house. Someone has said, when God is alienated from someone, he's never the one to initiate the alienation. The closer a planet is to the sun, the brighter the heat, the brighter the light on that planet, but greater the darkness on the other side. In the same way, the more intense the light shines on an object, the darker the shadow is. The more intense the love given towards someone, when they betray you, the darker your emotions are. And God has ultimate love coming toward us, his people. When we break his heart and disappoint him, how does he feel? Verse 8, my heritage has become to me like a lion in the forest. She has lifted up her voice against me. Therefore, I hate her. God says, hate someone? God hates? Yeah, there's actually several things in the Bible God says he hates. God hates certain things. So let's not have this wishy-washy, pathetic, insipid concept of God that he is not moved emotionally. He is. Now, they had chosen to worship the god Molech. Molech was shown to be the sun god. They had gone after Molech. It says that in the previous chapters 7, 8, 9, and so on. They were worshipping this god Molech, the lion god. And God says, you've become like a lion. And that's not a compliment. They'd become like the god they were worshipping. And they were meant to be sheep. And you've become like a lion. So when the shepherd now comes to his sheep, instead of meeting sheep, he's confronted with a raging lion. And God says, this is not right. Your response to me is not right. Verse 9, is my heritage to me like a hyena's lair? Are the birds of prey against her all around? What's the picture here? Yes, a lion comes out against me. But you know what I do to lions that come out against me? It's no match. You come to attack me, you will be the one that comes off second best. And now the picture is this. You come against me like that, and very soon the birds of the air, that is the vultures, will begin to circle you. And wild beasts will come around to eat you. Wow. Wow. What a picture. It's an interesting thought that if you've set yourself up to fight God, history says he'll win. Now, you can see, go assemble all the wild beasts, bring them to devour. Why was God so outraged? What is it? Well, we've looked at it. What was it that... I mean, this sounds like an angry God, doesn't it? You either come, Matthew 21:44, you come and you break your life upon him. And the picture is you come and you lay your life down before him like a subject before a conquering king. And the subject would come and lay there, and the word is prostrate themselves before the king and say, I'm your humble servant. You either come and lay your life down before me, Jesus said, on a rock where there's a throne. You come and lay your life down on this rock, or I will come to you. And this is what Jesus said. This is red letter Christianity. I'll come to you and I'll grind you to dust. Does that sound like Jesus, meek and mild, whatever? You know, you can worship Buddha, I don't care. You worship Hari, you just, whatever. It'll all eventually get to me, eventually. Does that sound like that? Doesn't sound like that to me. It sounds like Jesus says, I'm the way, the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. You either come and you lay down your life and break open your life before me, or I'll come to you and I'll grind you to dust. Why was God so outraged? The people had been idolatrous. And if you want to tick God off, be idolatrous. Set up another God and claim that it has the attributes of God. Secondly, they were ignorant. They were ignoring the Word of God. They were ignoring it. They did not want it in their lives. They did not want it to shape their lives. They didn't want to give heed to it. They were ignorant. And thirdly, they were immoral. And do not think that sex is merely two bits of meat just slapping together and that's just recreation and that's what just we do in society today and it's no big deal. It is a big deal. So we read on that God has called shepherds to challenge his sheep. If these are the three areas where the people have failed, idolatry, ignorance and immorality, the shepherds had failed to challenge the people in these regards. Many shepherds have destroyed my vineyard. Why? Because they hadn't been doing that. They hadn't challenged the people over their idolatry. They hadn't challenged the people over their ignorance or their immorality. They have trampled down my portion. They have made my pleasant portion a desolate wilderness. Now this is really irony, because the people were pursuing Molech, Astarte, these other false gods, in the belief that doing these pagan things would actually bring fertility and blessing and make them happy and provide for their welfare. But the very thing they were doing was actually destroying their happiness and their welfare. God says, okay, you remove me from your life, you're not even going to have a harvest. The very thing they thought they were achieving, they were now going to be deprived of. Because God is the ultimate source of your happiness and welfare. You take him out of the picture, it's a bleak picture.